guys, I'm Heidi with Heavenly Minded Homeschool and welcome to our day. Today we are going to chat about how we tackle reading and writing when it comes to our teens. So our day's a little hectic, but bear with us, we're going to get to it. So they make these little get-ups. And Olivia's name is Olivia Bernice, but we call her Bunny or Bun because she was named after my great-grandmother. So they put her in these and they call it the Bun Mobile. Or the Grimy. We call her Grimy Foot because she always has little dirty feet and she gets on wherever she can get her feet, she can climb up on it. So you go, look at you and your little Grimy Foot. Ow. Hey girls.
Save me. She can save me.
Look out, Jerry boy.
Jerry boy. She said
Whee!
I think it's second to
Well, balance that one so she doesn't tip over. You guys see my hairdo here? It's compliments of Lily B. Let me tell y'all about my day real quick while I'm like no makeup in my pajamas with my awesome hairdo. I have been killing myself these past few days to get month 2 of the curriculum done and out. It has just been every day, work nonstop, up late at night, you know, all of this to do that. Finally got everything done. Yesterday, we finished up our school stuff, but we were just waiting to do writer's tea time and we had a bunch of other things we didn't get done when our internet went out and was out all day. It didn't come back until last night. Well, I can't do any work. I mean, everything that we do, we have to have the internet. So podcasts, all of the things. We can't do it if we don't have internet. And so that kind of gave us this whole big chunk then yesterday where we couldn't do anything. So we ended up getting outside and working on the property stuff that's been needing to be done forever that we haven't been able to do. It was really super fantastic. Well, then this morning, the baby woke up really super early. So I got up last night. I didn't get the video done. Anyways, so I didn't get the video put together last night to go up today. I have nothing done. And so finally late last night it did come back on, but by then it was already late. So we just went to bed early, woke up early with the baby this morning. I watched all of these documentaries that the doctor, Brandon's doctor at his appointment yesterday had recommended to us for some different things. So I was up watching all that stuff this morning and doing some research. And then the baby decided about 7:30 when we're usually getting up that she was tired now, wanted to go to bed. So she fell asleep on top of me. I was laying on the couch. That's when Lily brushed my hair and did this cool hairstyle for me. And then, so anyways, now the point being, it's later in the morning. Our day and our schedule from what I've planned out is totally messed up. We need to start adding in some different things for my husband. So we're gonna go out and walk for 30 minutes this morning, in our PJs, totally not put together. And then come in, we'll get some stuff done. The cool thing with our schedule is I did schedule it that with our homeschool program, Monday and Tuesday are really heavy days. We start off with a lot of stuff to do and then it gets easier as the week goes on. So that way I feel like we get all the stuff done, get all the main stuff taken care of in the first few days of school, and then it starts to kind of taper down so we can get other stuff done, take care of different things and kind of wind down our week. So it's okay. I'm totally not going to stress it. We're going to go take care of this stuff, but that's my story of my crazy day of why videos are backed up and everything's kind of wonky. We're not getting our stuff done because, yeah, everything's kind of a disaster right now. But that's okay. We're going to go with it. Okie doke. So we have, I'm ready for a nap already and it's not even lunchtime. We have kind of tried to pull our day together a little bit. We went out. The next step in my husband's, it's technically a recovery process, but this will be a lifetime thing that he has to deal with the injury in his neck. So not recovery, it's going to get made better and never go away, but is for him to be doing being out walking for 30 minutes every single morning as soon as he gets up to try to, flush. Anyways, you're not trying to hear our whole medical history, but anyways, we were out doing that this morning. I think it felt good for our whole family to get up and get out and get moving. Came back in, picked up a little bit, got the kids' independent studies done with reading, writing, and math, got family Bible study done, and then it is hot. It is so stinking hot, and so the kids are out playing in the pool. We need to do school Bible and
try to pull together our day. And then we have our family activity this afternoon. It is Wednesday, so we have crafting in action and our math focus today. But again, our days are kind of just a little all over the place right now because of just everything being all thrown off. So it is, we're rolling with it. It's okay, we'll get there. I want to share with you guys today, though, about our teen and how I tackle reading and writing. Specifically, our son Travis really struggled in these areas. He was dyslexic, but we did not catch it for a very long time. And so that really did a lot of damage in that time before we caught that. So we've been really trying to combat that for all of the years since then, honestly. And so it's something that's always there. And for him, he just gets such an anxiety about anything to do with reading and writing. Kind of freaks out and shuts down. And so that's what kind of forced me really to look at just alternate methods for going about this, because the kind of traditional standard way of going about it just did not work. And the type of stress and anxiety I would have to put him through to fit that mold, to me, just seems so wrong. And it just so stopped. And I really started applying these different methods to the girls as well as we homeschooled. And it's like, wow, this just seems to work well. And then it was funny because then we ran across things like Brave Writer and stuff like that. And I'm like, that's so crazy, because that's essentially what I've been doing, just naturally what I found was working. So to see other people saying like, no, there is, great backing to this more relaxed approach when it comes to these skills, it was like, okay, cool. Like, I'm not completely, because you always worry, am I ruining my kid? And am I screwing them up? Are they not going to be able to do whatever because I'm not doing it by the book or like the other norms? I don't fit into this like methods classification, so you second guess yourself on these things. And I have to share with you guys, for years I felt like I was doing it wrong. I would be lax and let him go and move about at his own pace. And then midway through the year, I'd have to freak out. We're not doing enough. And I'd start throwing a bunch of stuff at him and it would be a disaster. Just keeping it real. And then something happened. Something happened where all of a sudden, the kid who couldn't spell, hated writing, struggled to read, just all of the issues you could possibly think of, where he spends so much time writing. He reads constantly. He watches videos and then digs deeper into the subjects. And then he writes and he rewrites and he wants to get it right. But it was like, remember that book, Leo, the early bloomer or the late bloomer? Do you remember that book in school? We read that and he had to come into it at his own time. And I feel like that's what happens so often. We feel that there's this, you must learn what a noun and a verb and grammar, and you have to go through these ways. And it's just, to me, it seems so silly because we don't teach our kids how to do anything else that way, right? You think of them learning to walk and to talk and to feed themselves and all of the normal things, that they do. But yet somehow when it comes to school, we stop going about things that way. And I don't get it. And so I started letting it just be something where daily, I want them just to be in the practice and in the habit of putting letters on paper. Whatever words you're going to write, whatever, just, it is, part of it is in our functions and we have to work those. And so taking words that are here in your mind and getting them to paper. Every day I want you to practice that. I'm not going to stress about spelling, capitalization, punctuation, nothing like that. Just put something on paper. And I started to notice that doing it like a game, like what we do with the big kids, where I say, hey, we're going to set the timer. Let's see how many words you can write today. Okay, I'm not going to test you. I'm not going to check them. I'm not going to correct anything. Don't worry about if you spell something wrong. Just put words on paper. Even if you write your name the whole time, like, I don't care. Just put words on paper. And then more. Every day we'd be beating our scores with more and more words. And then the words would, instead of just being random words, they would start to be sentences or thoughts, or something would start to come together. These skills naturally just started building. So we started doing that. Then we added in some copywriting. And so we were writing stuff down properly. That's where correct spelling was happening, capitalization was coming in, grammar is being used, all of these skills and things are starting to come together. Mind you, we're not sitting here poring over a bunch of workbooks. We are just naturally using these things and stuff is starting to come together. Okay, so we'll come back here real quick. My girls come in the house because they're out swimming, and I'm like, what on earth are you guys doing there? And I can hear them rummaging through all the stuff.
Oh, is that the turtle?
They have found another turtle.
Is that the turtle that we
looks like
have?
that has popped up.
What do they eat?
And so the girls they're researching what do they eat. So they have a list now of the foods the turtles eat, and they're going through our pantry to see if we have any of these.
In our
foods.
fridge.
Okay,
We found kale.
Yeah, okay. Go finish doing that while I do this.
That's our turtle, yeah. I don't know what. Changed it.
But what's funny is I'm telling you guys, if I would have put together like lap books and the whole nine of we're going to sit down and learn everything there is to know about turtles today, they'd be like, oh my gosh, do we have to do this? Are we done yet? Can I go play? But they're outside playing, run into a turtle, and now they're researching everything there is to know about a turtle. So I'm telling you, it works every time. So we start adding in copywriting. So we're doing things properly. We're starting to see that. And then we bump it up to dictation, where I am reading this, or I am speaking, the sentence to them, and they are writing it down, and we're going back and checking. Did you get it right? Did you get it wrong? Oh, you missed a comma, or whatever it might be. So all of these things are coming together in a natural form, just like, crawling to then holding on to stuff, to walking, to running, to, all of the different skills. And so we sit down once a week and do our writer's tea time. And that's where we get one-on-one time. We're working together. We're doing stories together where they are narrating stories and I'm writing them down. We're working on projects together. We're mind mapping out stories and how things work and go. Guys, I do it this way because I have tried for the past 8 years to do it the normal way. And while we would have little things here or there, and things do work, I'm not saying none of that works, but overall, this is what we have found that is just, it's easy, it's enjoyable, it feels natural. I have fun, the kids have fun. So this is the way we go about it. For our teen, every single day, he has time to just free write. Write whatever you want to write. Write a story, write a letter, write whatever you want to do. It doesn't even matter. Just continue that practice. Again, if you don't use these skills, they get rusty. I mean, most of us, we type all the time, right? And when you work a job or something where everything is online and then you go to write something out, it's like, oh my gosh, my hand hurts, my writing's sloppy, it's not nearly like it used to be, and things like that. We have to use these skills or we lose them. And so every day they have to write something, just spend time writing. And then every day they have most every day, some days we don't, but they have a dictation passage. If your kiddo is struggling and they're not really quite there yet, they can still copyright it. If they're doing really good, dictate a larger passage, dictate the whole psalm or something, whatever works best, but just continue to do that and trust that in doing those things, the spelling, the grammar, the capital, all of those things will come together. And then once a week on our writer's tea time, we have our writing activity. And that's where we're sitting down and we're really working on things. I give an idea every week in our PDF file workbook that we have on our website of like, hey, let's work on this. But then after that, honestly, we just spend the first little bit doing that family activity. The rest of our writer's tea time, which is my kids' favorite activity to do, is just them writing whatever they want to write. Whatever they want to write about. It's awesome. And then the other thing I've done for our team this year is I have set him up, or I've set us up with a account, just the free account at Grammarly. I don't know if you guys have seen that advertised, but what it does is as you type, it gives you suggestions. So it corrects, it notes, any spelling errors, punctuation errors, things like that. But then it gives suggestions for how to just be a better writer, just your sentence structure and different things, and it explains them. And then at the website, they have a whole breakdown of, why parenthetical expression is da-da-da, whatever. And so you can learn and dig into whatever the topic may be. And so if we're being realistic about this, our kids, yes, they need to be physically writing. I think that's a skill that our kids need to have, but they also need to have computer skills. Regardless of what our children, Lord willing, are going to go out into the world and do, they have to know how to type and to do certain things. You know, being able to email, send resume, you know, all of those things are skills that are going to be needed. And so I think it is important to get them on these devices and using them. One thing that really helped up my son's game was we gave him a old phone years ago. My kids don't have like actual cell phones. We don't do that. But I gave him an old phone and we would text each other. And him having to write things and having to get like his thoughts or his things, you know, to us that he wants to do, we would just keep little conversations going. And then, you know, by seeing the words, you know, having to get corrected and stuff like that, I really started to notice these spelling skills growing. And because again, we're working with letters, we're working with words, we're communicating that way. And so that has been, I mean, we've just seen vast improvement because of that. And so we went ahead and set up the Grammarly account. So starting here in month 2, and especially going into month 3 and the rest of the year, we will have some activities where he will just get on the computer with the Grammarly. It's like a add-on you can put on Chrome or whatever, have it works in different ways. And then he will work on typing up part of the story that we're working on together as a family, but he will type it up and we will review the suggestions and then things we need to adjust and change and kind of work on that together, because I think it's going to be really cool. It looks like a really neat thing. So writing anyways, that's kind of how we go about that. And for us, it works really, really well. So every day in his multi-tab notebook here, he's got a spot. Sometimes our Bible activities have writing activities that they need to do. It kind of just depends on the scripture we're going over and what's in there. So his free writing time that he has, I told you guys he's decided he wants to learn how to speak German. So sometimes he's translating his stuff into German and writing it in here. I have no idea what he's saying, but it's really sweet because he's really into it. So, I mean, he's got all of this stuff in here just from his free writing activities. His dictation passages, which I just mark any of his words that he has gotten wrong. I just put a little box around any of them, so that way he can go and look in the scripture passage that day and correct anything that he needs to. When we're dictating scripture, I will tell him, you know, like, and the Lord said, comma, if it's something that, you know, it just listed out 3 items, I'll say, hey, when you're listing out multiple items in a row, what do you do? Oh, you add commas, and he'll go back and do that. If it's a pause in between something or, you know, something like that, I might say semicolon or put it out there to kind of give him a heads up. He knows, obviously, start with a capital, end with punctuation. We've covered those things. And so I still test for all of that stuff. So anyways, those are his different, and then this is his writer's journal for Writer's Tea Time, where he's working on a story from 1918. He's writing a story based off of these soldiers during World War I in the trenches, and I mean, he goes into all of this stuff. So he has that for his writing. I did pick up at the beginning of the year, just because this has been an area that he has really struggled in, I did pick up these Big Fat Notebook. Not that you have to have these, but I was like, you know what, these are really cool. We have used the Brain Quest workbooks before. You guys, we've done a whole video on them. When I had the baby, I got each of the kids the Brain Quest workbooks, and every day they just did a page out of each subject, and that was our homeschool, because I had a new baby, I was recovering from a C-section, like, that's what we did for homeschool, and they learned everything just fine, and then they unschooled the rest of the time. So we have this. I ask him to do 1 chapter per week, and he will do this throughout the entire school year. I love this. I love the way that it breaks down the different things, gives them a couple little activities to work on. They can write in here. It really just covers everything, honestly, that you need to know. So I did get him this at Walmart. I think it was like $10. It wasn't even, I mean, it wasn't crazy expensive, and it kind of just covers everything. So he does have this for writing, just because it's been an area that he has really struggled in. I wanted to just make sure I was doing everything we could to put a little something there as we're going through, especially now. I feel like this was a good idea because now he is really wanting to dig into writing. He's wanting to, the kid who wouldn't touch writing and reading and stuff like that, he wants to write books. He has all these ideas that we sit down and we talk about, and he really wants to work on. And so he had said to me, he was like, Mom, I have all these ideas, but how do I get them put together? I have these ideas, I can think of these things. I mean, he's got details. I mean, he has all this stuff in there, but he's like, all right, I'm ready now to get that toolkit to help me take these things from being in here to like in a document. And so that's where I was like, I think you're ready now. Let's go ahead and get something again, just to go over this stuff and really make sure we're covering all the things that I think a lot of it he already knows, he just is kind of unsure of. So I think a lot of it was like, see, you know these things, you've got this. So I think a little bit of it is kind of confidence boosting. So writing, that is what we do. Writer's tea time, and then the daily activities. I feel like a lot of times people are like, but where's the workbooks? Where's the this? Where's the that? Just using the stuff. I mean, this is the language we speak, and we do the stuff when you're reading good literature and then you're writing, it all comes together. And so we see great fruit from these things, and everything's going well. For reading every day, I ask them to spend some time independently reading. He's got some great kind of historical books. I have books that are fiction but based off of biblical times and events. We try to just keep good books around the house so that way the kids are free to pick whatever they want to read. I have found much more success when they pick the book they are reading versus me issuing the books that they are going to be reading. I do let our kids have the option to listen to the audiobook while they read. The caveat there is I ask them to be following along with the book while they listen. Especially for Travis with the dyslexia, that helps him a ton. So we do that a lot. And then we have our family book. We are reading through the entire Little House on the Prairie series. Our family loves the TV show. And so we are so excited to get the book series, and we're reading through this. So we read a chapter a day, Monday through Thursday through this. Some days, most days, the goal here is for it to be a family read aloud. This week has been a little hectic, so the kids, my teen and my big kid, have been reading the chapter just in their independent reading time. So flexible in that depending on what's going on. But as far as reading and writing, I think that's everything. Did you want to join in for this and say anything about reading and writing?
Hello.
Hello. Do not slurp.
What am I saying? Sorry, I didn't mean to.
Want to sit down?
Yeah. What was I
spilling
supposed to say?
stuff everywhere?
Yes.
Do you need to go get a washcloth or something?
No. I
Just want to wipe it all over your clothes?
Well, because I put it under my hand, so when it spills, it's all over my hand.
That's good.
So there's just a lot of coffee on my hand.
So I was talking about what we do for reading and writing for you. So writing every day, your dictation passage, and then writer's tea time. You don't know about this, but I've set up an account at Grammarly. Have you seen the ads for that Grammarly thing? Okay, so it's like you type stuff, it's like you just write normal stuff on the computer, and it will pop up, and instead of just correcting, like, you know how if you get a word wrong, like misspelled, how it tells you, but this shows all kinds of grammar, sentence structure, like all of these like ideas and suggestions pop up to help you. And I thought with your stories and different things you want to write, that could be really cool to type it up in there, and it offers different suggestions and things like that. So I have that in the works for this year. And then I told him about how you were doing this book.
Yes.
That you haven't done yet this week. But it's up to you to make sure that you get it done by Friday for review. It's Wednesday afternoon. He'll work on that later. And then time just independently reading. Do you feel like you're becoming a stronger reader?
Yeah, I think I can generally read pretty good already.
I have another note.
I think I can read well. I cannot read well, like, out loud, but
That was my other thing I was going to talk about. So he hates reading out loud. And for a long time, he really did struggle. And that was because you were already struggling with different stuff with reading. So then trying to do it out loud was just really stressful. When we do our Bible reading each day, sorry, I got a message, so it distracted me. When we do our Bible reading, I read Genesis. I usually have been having him and Lily, our big kid, split up reading the psalm of the day. So then you're practicing, because you're not going to get better at reading out loud if you don't do it. And so we do that. Remember to pause with punctuation and things like that to become a stronger, better reader. So I'm excited to see this year how the year goes when we continue to actually work on actually reading out loud and kind of forming that skill for you there.
Yeah.
So that'll be good. But anyways, I will, that's the bulk of what we do for this, and I think it goes really well. Your stories that you're coming up with are great, and you're working on them, except for when you write in German, and I don't know what you're saying. Yeah, so that happens. But other than that, I think it's going pretty good, huh? Mm-hmm. Do you like it?
I like it okay.
Oh, yeah?
Reading it, well.
These aren't your favorite subjects.
See, yeah, reading I think I'm pretty good at, unless it's reading out loud. But a key issue when you're learning about reading is I don't generally like reading stuff all the time. Like I find books every once in a while that I really enjoy, like The Hatchet and stuff. Mm-hmm. But other than that, I like.
Well, that's why anybody who doesn't like reading, it's because you don't have a good book. I think the puppy needs that. I don't want her to pee in the house. Last time I ignored her, she peed in the house. Did you stop it, or is it just recording?
It's just recording, so it's just me standing in awkward silence.
That was fun.
Yeah. Like, I do even find sometimes when I'm reading about subjects that I do like, sometimes like history and stuff, like I can still kind of get bored of it and stuff. Mm-hmm. It's like it's just kind of something I'm not 100% into.
Because if what you're reading isn't interesting to be reading.
Yeah, but like even stuff I am interested in reading, I still kind of like doze off. Like, I don't know. It's just reading isn't like my favorite thing. And writing, I'm not amazing at writing, but I think what frustrates me about that is like all the different like layers to the language, and not just how much you have to learn about, like, that might sound really stupid, but like just all those like different words explaining different things like just kind of frustrate me sometimes.
That's what would frustrate him when we would do like grammar workbooks and, well, what is this? What is that? What is it? He's like, I know how to write. I know how to speak. I know how to do these things. Like, having to sit down and break down every single thing just drove you bananas.
The only reason to learn about this is so you can teach it.
Yeah.
So that stuff would frustrate me.
All right, I'm going to go see what your sisters are doing, and then we'll see what we can't get done today.
All right.
It's kind of a crazy day.
Oh my goodness.
I'm taking out the bun.
Somebody is toothless. Let me see your tooth. Ew, it's trying to focus. Look at that tooth. It's not focusing. Look at you, smile. You're getting so big.
I know.
You know. All right, let's go find your dog. You guys made a pen for the turtle.
Yep. Well, I can't find him.
Come on, Zoe.
Back,
he escaped out of the pen.
Yeah, he'll come back though because
He'll come back.
yesterday
He's like, what are you crazy people doing?
He came back today.
Oh my gosh, look at your whole little get-up you made for the turtle.
He'll come back though because remember last time how we...
Oh my gosh, you did all of this?
Yep, me and Pickle.
How the heck did he get out?
What?
I said, how did he get out?
He
Look
was
at this
really
whole
small
little
though. How did he...
setup you guys did. Oh, probably over here. See how it's open over here? Look at his little white picket fence.
How will
The
he get
chicken
out?
nesting
What
box.
What little place did you think he got out of?
Look at right there where it's open with the wire.
Oh, yeah.
That's probably. That is so cool. Look at the turtle pen.
Oh, yeah, he probably came out from this, but he'll come back somewhere.
He'll come back. Mr. Turtle, where did you go? Very cool
Raphael,
setup.
I named him after... He is really cranky, and apparently Raphael is
The cranky Ninja Turtle?
Yeah.
There you go.
So
So he was cranky? That's so weird. Wild Turtle was cranky over kids locking him in a pen.
I got him away from his food.
I wish I could show you guys the turtle, but he's gone. Toothless baby.
Uh-huh. Here.
Come close.
Yeah. See?
Ooh.
You do stuff lots. This guy.
Oh my goodness, what are you going to eat? You have no teeth left.
I have teeth back here.
Yeah, you got some back there, some chompers.
Yeah.
Hi, Zoe. Okay, so the roosters are dust bathing.
Pickle, you almost
So the kids are getting back in the pool. We need to finish up their school for the day. But everybody is basically, it's really, really hot again this week. So everybody is basically just living in the pool this week. So Travis got his school done kind of like in little bits here and there. But then they're all playing and swimming and doing stuff. And before we know it, it's not going to be pool weather anymore. So I really don't blame them. I'm letting them just have fun and play, and we've just kind of fit school in little spurts here and there. So yeah, I mean, I think I basically explained everything to you. I think you guys have got it. If you're interested and that's what you're here looking for, I'm excited next week to get back to like showing you just our day like all together doing stuff. But we found out that we have, Daddy and I just finished doing some podcast Bible studies and things of that nature. There's one of you that is coming to visit us tomorrow. So very super excited. Tomorrow. But I didn't tell the girls. Why do you have the hose on? Can you turn it off, please? Can you turn the hose off? We're having company come over tomorrow. Sorry, guys, I got something in my eyeball. Okay, would you hold on? So, we need to get some stuff done that we just haven't really gotten to this week because it's been crazy. So even like our normal just like stuff to get done hasn't really been getting done, let alone like companies coming over. So maybe let's not have laundry all over. I don't know. You know how there's just those things that when somebody's coming over that it's like, oh my gosh, like these things that like kind of bother me now all of a sudden really super bother me because company's coming over. But it was cool because yesterday I told you guys how we worked out a bunch out in the yard, getting a bunch of stuff done up here, but the kids collected a bunch of trash and just like odds and ends and stuff like that. So we needed to finish bagging them up and get them down to get taken out in the trash anyways. So we're going to go and finish our day and do that. Super fun. I cannot wait. Looking forward to that tomorrow. I think it's supposed to be a little bit cooler tomorrow too, which is awesome. But this is our day. It's been hot again, so the kids are living in the pool a little bit tomorrow, but then it goes back to being hot. So yeah, they're having fun, and they're not really wanting to do much of anything. And like I said, I'm honestly not.
Over the pool so we can like slide?
No, because if something gets under that and it pushes on the bottom, it'll put a hole in the pool. Sorry. Anyways, I've been kind of letting them just play and have fun, and I think everybody's gotten pretty much all of their school done. We just have a couple things that we'll finish up this evening when everybody gets inside, but otherwise, we've gotten it all done, and we will see you all tomorrow while we finish going through what our teen does, and then be back next week to just show you our normal average homeschool day. If you have anything specific, though, that you're curious about, let us know, and I will happily share what we do in regards to that anyways. I know we'll be talking more about the biblical holy days and the feasts because we have the fall feast coming up at the end of this month. They all start. We plan our homeschool around them. And that's why we do our schedule the way we do and all of that. I have vlogged through like the spring feast, Passover, Purim, Hanukkah, but I don't think I've ever done a vlog during the fall feast because we usually have stuff going on and it just is crazy. So that's all coming. I do know that. But if there's anything specific you can think of, or especially in regards to our teen, since I didn't really get to show you very much of what he's doing since he's and he does so much stuff just on his own that for me to set the camera up, he's like, what are you doing? I'm just trying to get my stuff done. So anyways, any questions, reach out, let me know. Otherwise, I'm going to go and get some stuff done, make some dinner here in a little bit, and we will see you all tomorrow. I don't remember what subjects I'm showing you tomorrow, but I've been going in the same order as I did with the littles and the big kids. So whatever it was I did after this, that's what you're getting tomorrow. History and something? I don't know. Anyways, we'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye! So they just filled this up, and it's so cold. Yeah, go ahead. All right, go ahead. Go ahead. Yep, ready. Are you freezing? Oh my goodness.
But we don't care.
You don't care if you're frozen? Yeah, I'm not getting in. That water is like ice.
No, it isn't.
All right.